One of the senators leading the resolution joins us now, Senator Mark Warner, who is also the top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee and a member of the Finance Committee. So many different topics I can get your thoughts on today, sir, but I'm going to begin with tariffs. I know you're sending on to this resolution. There's some Republican support, but the likelihood that it's going to get to the House is small, and then the likelihood that Donald Trump would sign it is zero. So tell me the strategy here.
Well, the strategy is that we're finally back on offense as Democrats. Last week, it was the gross misuse of the Signal channel, and they're still reeling. We still don't know whether those phones have even been checked for malware. We've got allies around the world pissed off beyond belief, including the Israelis. This week, after lots of bluster about the tariffs, they're coming. We had just at the press conference a beer guy from Alexandria who gets a lot of his ingredients from Canada. He's already laid off 2 folks. We had a whiskey guy from Richmond. He's talking about the fact that in Alberta province, they're taking American whiskeys off the shelves. So the craziness of going into a trade war with our longest ally is just insane, and I think Republicans realize this. I mean, if we look as well, look at what Trump and officials themselves claim these tariffs are going to raise. They say $100 billion a year on cars, $600 billion a year on these other reciprocal tariffs. That's $700 billion a year. Who's going to pay for that? American consumers. This will be the largest tax increase in American history. It is going to send the stock markets, which are already reeling. Liberation Day, as Trump calls tomorrow, will probably be known as Black Wednesday in terms of the stock market fall-offs. And I think our Republican friends realize they've been quiet this long, but at some point they've got to step up. Last week on national security, a lot of them expressed privately to me. This week, I hope we get a few more publicly to say, you know, calling Canada an enemy and having these across-the-board tariffs on Canada doesn't make sense. There will be other actions we'll take as we go on, as the policies of Trump, both raising prices, adding financial burden to Americans' paychecks, dealing with our allies as if they're enemies, and this totally careless approach to national security, it's building up. I'm hearing it on the road from Virginians, regardless of party. I think my Republican friends have got to be hearing the same stuff.
Yeah, they're also hearing it from the Wall Street Journal, which took Peter Navarro's comment that the $600 billion raised in tariff revenue would actually be a tax cut. The Wall Street Journal calls that Orwellian, calling George Orwell, they say. It's actually a tax increase. They make the same point that it would be extremely large, the largest since World War I. And talking about going on the offensive, as you mentioned a moment ago, I want to ask you about Social Security and the launching of a war room to combat DOGE cuts to Social Security. Explain that.
Well, the fact is, when you're talking about $4 trillion of taking it out of government spend, or these numbers bounce all around, and you've got Elon Musk is a smart technical guy, but his crowd has got to be the most inept, careless, sloppy group I've ever seen. In any legitimate business, they'd be fired, because when they come into these agencies, as we saw when they fired people that were protecting our nuclear stockpiles, when they fired without reason a lot of the folks who answer the phones at the IRS, if they're going to find the monies they need, Social Security and Medicaid can't be off the table, no matter what Trump says. So the rhetoric versus the reality, and we're going to hold them accountable for that.
Senator Mark Warner, really good to have you. Thank you for joining us today.